Yeah. Can you guys hear me? Let's talk about it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we back. I just like doing that. YouTube's been tripping. They have not been sending out notifications for shit, bro. So I'm sorry to Eagles Army that wants to hear my videos but don't have the opportunity because they're like, damn, I just missed you. Shout out to Mo Green. There was a rapper from out here in the Bay Area and he had that name. I remember back in the day. Finally got it. Okay, someone got a notification. Yeah, they lag for me too. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. But I just got back to the cribbo. Had something to eat. And I wanted to talk. There's a lot going on in boxing. It's fun, you know, fun times. Randy Ridley, we in the building. Hold on, let me turn this down for you guys. Smash the like button when you come in. The sooner we get where we need to be, the sooner we can start and be all. Is the stream choppy right now or is it good? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me out there? If the stream is good, put up the number 5. If we ain't too choppy, throw them 5s up. I got 5 on it. Yeah, we got them 5s, man. All right, shit, let's get started. You know, because I don't know how long this stream's going to be. I've been streaming a lot lately. It's been fun. We've been having some good shows. You know, getting good rating, audience retention on the YouTube analytics. So let's get into it. Heavyweight. You know, oh, Jeff Green got bodied. Damn. The thing is, it's like the gift and the curse. Heavyweight divisions. Q-Brat Pull-Up out here kissing female reporters. Not even Tyson did. Yeah, that's suspect, bro. And he grabbed her face. You can't be doing all that. I'm taller than Q-Brat Pull-Up. Imagine if I did that to a female. Imagine. Like if I'm just like, what up, fight world? You know, just inhaled her face, bro. I told you, they want me to work at JCPenney's. They don't want me doing that. They're like, man, Ego New Media killing us. That's why I got to, you know, I just stay out the way. I can't be getting those scandals and shit. Put it this way. You see them lying on me and making up shit and calling me all types of names, the haters, you know. Imagine if I did that. Then that would actually be legit something for them to say. So if they make up bullshit and keep my name circulating, imagine what they do if I had like a, you know, some craziness going on. Hold on, let me check. I'm checking a few things. Ray Wallace, what's up? Hold on 1 second, guys. He said pull over voted for Trump. Yeah, y'all wildin'. Shout out to Seattle tapping in with the kid. All right, let's get into the content. Like I said, I don't know how long this stream was going to be, but I was like, man, Eagles Army, they might be up still. I got one for them. I got something for them. So, the good and the bad. Heavyweight division's more alive, I would say. There's a lot of people I'm checking for, like Tony Yoka, F.A. Ajagba, Joe Joyce, Daniel Dubois, of course. So you have a lot in the up-and-coming scene. You had a lot going on there. You got really good fighters like Dillian White and Luis Ortiz came up shy when they fought champions. Now, people who are still champions now. And then you have the big three. What do you mean what happened to the Joshua Miller fight? It's still going on. I mean, what happened to them pre-sale tickets? Because they said the pre-sales was selling like hotcakes. They said them pre-sales was out of here. I ain't heard nothing since Gerald Miller pushed him. I ain't heard nothing. I ain't seen nobody in Gerald Miller's camp or Joshua's camp. I ain't seen it. If you guys seen it, send me some links so I can catch up. But I ain't really heard much commotion about it. Fights in June. But interesting times. We didn't get Joshua Wilder last year, but then we got Wilder Fury, and then they put an instant classic on, in my opinion. So we thought we were going to get it next, and then ESPN puts a bid on Tyson Fury. He likes the deal for U.S. distribution. He takes the money. I don't care what nobody says. That is a duck. You guys can try to excuse it. And then I don't even know if this sounds crazy to y'all, but what reassures me that it's a duck, duck season, the duck list, is who he's fighting. Maybe, and this is still a stretch because to me it was a duck either way, but maybe, just maybe, if he was fighting somebody quality that we all have heard of beforehand, maybe you could just say, okay, like if he was fighting Luis King Kong Ortiz, Dillian White, really them two, maybe like, like a Oscar Rivas. I still would say it was a duck, but maybe Oscar Rivas, maybe Joseph Parker, maybe Kenan Briggs. But that's like the cutoff. If it ain't one of them people that I really mentioned or Joshua, and it's not Wilder, then you ducked. Because boxing in the heavyweight division is very clear to see who is at what level and what the tiers are. We know based on a culmination of different ingredients and attributes and accomplishments who the top guys are. It's very easy to see that at heavyweight particularly. Like you look at featherweight, it's different division, maybe it's a little bit different because there's conflicting opinions. Gary Russell is a beast. I think he's the best featherweight, but someone else might say Leo Santa Cruz is the guy. Someone else might say Oscar Valdez beats Santa Cruz or can beat, Gary Russell. Someone could say Leo Santa Cruz can beat Gary Russell, vice versa. So there's it's up for debate, but we know the tier system. Excuse me. At heavyweight, we know who's who. That's it. It's very easy to see, who the best guys are, who the prospects are, who the journeymen are. So maybe see Tyson Fury, he did his own fans a disservice because the people who are even pulling for him and want to see him do well, he has literally left them with nothing to go off of to make any semblance of a solid argument to combat new media. Nothing. There's nothing. Like, I don't care who says what. I don't care who's your favorite fighter. I don't care if you're from the UK, USA, Mexico. He is literally based on sports world. Hold on 1 second. I got my shit playing. I was just seeing if this my bad. Once again, new media is killing. It has definitely been, how do you say it? Bottom line, new media, the points we've been making, a lot of them are holding up, staying true, and they're holding up through the, like, it's like somebody having testimony. Here's a good example for you guys, analogy. It's like new media has certain people on the stand, and we get their testimony. So the whole courtroom witnesses and hears their testimony, right? And then throughout the court case, that testimony stands the test of time and holds up. But then old media, they have someone, they pull something, you know, their prosecutors put someone on the stand, and then they say all this, that, and that, aka testimony. And then when they're cross-examined and talked to in front of the court by new media, we bring up loopholes, fragmented statements, and then the whole world gets to see that testimony is like flimsy. You know, that testimony doesn't stand the test of, it's not concrete, it's not solid. You guys get what I'm saying? The shit we're saying, the shit I've been saying, the shit Ego's Army's been saying, like, all, you know, you guys know Ego's Army, my guys J-Dog and, you know, Real Brother 32, you know, we all won. We all won you. Randy Ridley, you guys know, because we leave these comments, you know, Kennedy Linder. So the stuff new media is saying, the stuff that Ego's Army is saying, it stands the test of time. It lasts. The stuff they say, you know, upon further review and cross-examination, it starts to break up. Like, okay, you said you went to Jack in the Box at 11 o'clock, but this receipt shows that you were in a different city at 11 o'clock, and there is no Jack in the Box in that city at this particular address that we have a receipt. And then the testimony, oh, yeah, okay, I lied. And then you find out they lie. Okay, cool. So that testimony has now been damaged. You get it? That's what's happening here. New media. The shit we saying is holding up. People see it. So the bad thing for Tyson Fury apologists and fans and the man fans is Tyson Fury hasn't really given you any level of leverage, any level of like really anything to bite on. Like his behavior has been erratic. His statements have been erratic and like really obnoxious. His statements have been, they seem out of left field, that type of thing. You know, it's been hypocritical, all those types of things. Period. I don't know if you guys can hear me. I don't know. You good? My dude Daryl, he said Wilder might have messed up his head. I think that the 12th round, had it not been for the 12th round, maybe even just the first knockdown, if it was just that 12th round, I think you're right. I think that 12th round, I'm not saying he's like, you know, like really scrambled in the brain like that, but I think that 12th round was an absolute reminder and a reality check for the network ESPN, for Top Rank, who just acquired for Frank Warren, for Tyson Fury. The world see, everybody thought it was a wrap. I was there, you know, everybody thought it was a wrap. You know, people getting up out of their seats and ready to leave, you know, who were pulling for Fury because he was doing good, you know. Then they seen the first knockdown, they're like, oh shit, you know, Wilder's a good finisher. And then after the 12th round, it looked like, oh shit, okay. You know, an immense puncher, even if he gets up some kind of way, which he did, you know, there's still time on the clock. He really got too anxious because he could have finished Fury, you know, even the fact that he got up, but he like, you know, he was coming kind of reckless even, and then Tyson Fury caught him dead in his track, and he was tired, so he's just like, buh, and then he kind of let the rest of the time elapse in the round. He said the 12th round was a video game knockdown. That's what I'm saying, and they know that. Top Rank, ESPN, Bob Arum, they're all smart. They know that. Frank Warren, they know that. So, you know, Tyson Fury trying to be like your boy Ego, Carlito's way, you know, try to get out the game. And I think the rematch will probably happen with Wilder Fury. But the thing is, once again, when you have the complexion for the protection in this society, in America, they're going to give you all the aid, all the help, all the, you know, support, all the, you know, pillars of success to try to manifest a victory. That's the reality of it. That don't happen with everybody, especially minorities, especially black Americans. You know, they're not going to give you, you know, just give you the keys to the city and the red carpet treatment. Like, you could just see it and hear it in the commentary. Just really analyze what I'm saying. What if the roles were reversed? Like, I'm being honest, and I know people get mad when I bring up race. Don't listen to my channel. It's that simple, because I'm never going to stop being me. So if you ever expect me to stop being me, right, then I'll close my channel before that happens. So if you don't like it, there's the door. I do well for myself. Ego's Army, we got us. We don't need, you know, I'd rather talk to a group of 20 people on my channel preaching the good gospel and what we see, being realistic with one another and respectful, than to have, you know, 500 subscribers, but my voice means nothing, and the people, you know, want me to fabricate and like embellish and lie. That's not gonna work for who I am as a person, my character, you know, like just to completely, you know, fuck around and make something up that I know I don't. You know what I'm saying? It's like they try to feed the public shit they wouldn't feed their family. You feel what I'm saying? Like, would you let your daughter eat the bullshit you trying to feed us? You get what I'm saying? That type of shit. Like, let's say there's water or something. You're in a country or something, and the water is contaminated. So you got bottled water for you, you know, to ensure its freshness. Are you gonna let your family drink the potentially contaminated water while you have bottled water? You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're doing with new media. We passing out bottled water. You know, what they want, what old media wants to do is like in Flint. And I actually sent water to Flint. You know, see, I don't even tell people about it because I don't have to brag about that. But I went on Amazon. I found a local church, right? This is how real I am. And I'm telling you, because this was like, I don't know when the Flint crisis first happened, but it was when it first happened. So I'm not saying it for bragging rights. I can show you the Amazon receipt if you don't believe me. But I was covering boxing. I heard about that. You know, there's even some great fighters from that area. You know, Grand Rapids, Flint, you know, Clarissa Shields, Mayweather. You know, I owe a lot to this boxing game. And there's a lot of great fans that I have, you know, great fighters from the Midwest. So when I heard about the Flint crisis, the type of person, how real I am, is I researched, I looked up, there was like a church or something, and the Flint crisis was going on. I got the address. I went on my Amazon Prime account, and then you can send, you know, you can send packages anywhere. You know, you just need the physical address. So that's all I did. I just put the Flint physical address. It said Boxingego, and I sent water, you know, like 48 packs of water, as much as I could. You feel what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't have to do shit for clout. I don't have to advertise and brag about the shit. The only reason I'm telling you now is because it pertains to what I'm talking about. You know, I'm a thorough person. You'll never find anybody who's being truthful that said that I took something from them, or I needed them and used them, or I gave Ego his whole start, you know, and built his channel, or bought him all his gear and then he switched up on me. I would love to meet that person. Name one person, you know what I'm saying, that bought my gear, gave me the persistence to, you know, figure it out on this YouTube tip, start covering the fights, that bought me a plane ticket, you know, that paid for my hotel. We did this from the mud. I promise you that. So, anyway, Tyson Fury, man, he disappointed, and he left the people with nothing to, like, even true life Tyson Fury, diehard man fans and stuff, they just shutting up right now because he's fighting Tom Sawyer. Nobody knows who it is. I told you, new media is here. We stand for something. That's the reality of it. You could say whatever you want, but the proof is in the pudding. Bill Cosby voice. All that dumb shit people say is over. Let's see it. Show us. Let's see your actions. I told you, all that like little cute one-liners and shit Tyson Fury be doing, that's cool, but nobody believes it. Shout out to Hawaii. You know, nobody believes it anymore because he put himself in a position where it's unbelievable. You know, nobody, Wilder's a bum, he's a nobody, but you fighting Tom Sawyer. Wilder needs to build his U.S. profile, and then you'll think about giving him a rematch, even though you're the visitor here. You're not from America, but whatever. We'll take your word for it. You're a bigger star in your mind than Wilder in the U.S., but then you fighting Tom Sawyer. You know, like I said, none of that stuff floats anymore. None of it sells. Nobody believes it. When Tyson Fury, he had a lot of people's buy-in. When he was dressing up like Batman, we accepted it. He didn't even dress up in the hard Batman like Michael Keaton Batman with the armor suit. He had the flappy ear Batman, you know, the Batman Adam West and shit. Spandex Bat. We accepted it. He was like, oh, this clit's getting licked. And he said that to Klitschko. Cool, that's funny. Ha. Klit's getting licked. Then he beat Klitschko. Okay, I'm not mad at that. Then he said AJ, he's a chat shit get bang, and you know, he's a shit house dosser. I'm a gypsy king. I come from a long line of warriors, and that's what's up. He did fight Wilder. I give him credit for fighting him, but how it played out, how it ended, he left people in suspense. And you partner up with a company that you had to have known from talking to them, like, hey guys, I'm in negotiations with Wilder as you guys are offering me this money with ESPN. They had to have given you some inclination, some blueprint of what they wanted to do with your career. You chose the money, and you chose ESPN because of the future you feel, and you made a conscious choice to duck the Wilder rematch. There's nothing else that could be said about it. Because like I said, you're literally in negotiations to rematch. You got offered 50-50, right? Plus you would have had a pay-per-view that off top was more successful. People aren't understanding this. Listen, ESPN has money, I'm sure. You know, one of their parent companies, Disney, reached out to me. So I'm sure of it, you know, because they help the channel, put it that way. If you sign up through ESPN Plus through your boy, it helps the channel, right? ESPN has money, we know that. But Tyson Fury Wilder, there could have been a trilogy from this. We all know the second Wilder Fury fight would have done better than the first, and the first didn't do bad. So how much money could he have made on pay-per-view with a ready-made pay-per-view that the fans wanted to see, which could have, let's say Tyson Fury fought, and see, that's what I'm saying. He took the kind of guaranteed money with ESPN, whatever they've offered him, and like the future and a chance to build up before he rematches Wilder with 2 tune-ups or 1 tune-up, whatever he's doing, right? That shows you that he didn't want no smoke with Wilder, because here, If you, yeah, they're offering you $108 million, right? That's cool. But they have you for several fights. You could have realistically fought Deontay Wilder on Showtime pay-per-view. You were already in negotiations. They offered you 50-50 plus 50% of the back end. We know it would have done better than the first fight, you know, and beat him like you think you're capable of doing. Beat him physically. There probably would have been a rematch clause. So there you have another fight, because Wilder's going to want his belt back if you were able to beat him. But the thing is, Fury knew what happened in the 12th round. So he like, fuck that. You know, that's way too much of a gamble. So this angle, this approach with ESPN sounds better. So that's the choice he made. But how, like, everybody, see, this is the thing. I kick you to facts, man. This is why old media not fucking with it. Wilder Fury sold, I forgot how much it was. 375,000, 400,000, whatever, right? 325, whatever it was. 300 to 450,000, right? So that's solid for two guys at the end of the year, the month of Christmas and New Year's. You know, the timing, people have holidays and shit. Not everyone can pay for pay-per-views during December. That, you know, that probably wasn't the opportune time to fight, to be honest, with the holidays. But they wanted it. They wanted to close it. And then that's what they did. So a rematch would have done better. We all know this because of the drama. But the first one did good, considering neither guy was a established pay-per-view commodity like Floyd Mayweather, Conor McGregor, etc. Right? So it did good. The rematch would have did better. The thing is, people thought it was a suicide mission for Tyson Fury because he was coming off of a 3-year absence for failing drug tests. He gained all this weight. He had to lose a lot of weight, you know, 150 plus pounds or whatever. And he had 2 tune-ups against people who are nowhere near the level of Wilder in punching power and skill and momentum. Wilder had just beaten Luis Ortiz. So the thing is, considering all of that, the fight still did good to the point where it still did, like, how do you say it? The fight still did good to the point where I don't think it was a bust for Showtime or a loss. I don't think they lost any money having, do you get what I'm saying? I don't think they lost any money having the pay-per-view and hosting the event when it was all said and done, right? But you got to understand, some people were probably apprehensive or hesitant to get the pay-per-view because a lot of people thought that everything was stacked against Tyson Fury. Oh man, he just dropped 150 pounds. He's not the same since the Klitschko fight. He took 2 like low level Francisco Pianetta, Safari type tune-ups. He's not ready for Wilder. Maybe if this was right after he beat Klitschko, I would do it. So you have to understand, there's a percentile of people who was like, man, I'd rather stream that, or I'm not going to watch that, or I'm not going to order that, because they didn't think the fight was going to be competitive. But the point I'm making is this: once they actually seen it or heard about it after the fact, that gets people's buy-in, because now you know Tyson Fury came to fight. Now you know he was outboxing Wilder in a lot of those middle rounds. Now you know how it ended with the 12th round and Wilder floored him twice. So certainly a rematch would have done better. People were probably scared. Like, that's the bottom line is, the bigger the names and the bigger the threat, the bigger the pay-per-view. If Terrence Crawford or Errol Spence fight on pay-per-view, in my opinion, using this formula that I have, which is really simple in boxing, it's going to do better than Errol Spence, Mikey Garcia. Because there are some people that are like, man, Mikey's tripping. You know, some people thought Mikey would win, but there are a lot of people who were like, I don't know. You know, he's moving up weight. You know, Mikey Garcia versus Lomachenko would have probably been a better fight, a bigger fight maybe for Mikey, because they were both at lightweight. You get what I'm saying? So it's not rocket science here. So all that considered, Wilder Fury 1 did good, even though a lot of people counted Fury out. So definitely after seeing how Fury held his own, was winning rounds, the rematch would have did better. So if he didn't sign to ESPN, he might have been able to make a lot more money in the rematch than he did in the first fight, just because people wouldn't be counting him out. He got people's buy-in. And then if he beat Wilder like he thinks he can, that could have set up a trilogy. So he would have made more pay-per-view money, you know, based on that, and the fight would have did well. But he took the ESPN deal. You know why? Because he knew ESPN's game plan. They had to have win over this. You can't just be in the middle of negotiation. Hey guys, I'm about to fight Wilder, and then they're like, okay, that's fine. You know, you had that. You and Frank Warren had to have talked about it. Wilder has said it and been consistent on several interviews. We sent him the contract, and they had the contract for 5 days, so we knew something was up, because the first fight was easy to make, and for a period of time, contacting them was easy to do. But then when they had the contract sitting on the desk for 5 days, we knew something was up, because they weren't returning calls. They weren't returning text messages. Obviously, you know, if you have a girlfriend and you contact her every day and you guys get in an argument or something and she don't text you for 2 days, you know it's because she's mad at you or something's up, or she cheating on you or some shit. You know, so Tyson Fury, he took the path of least resistance, which is why people are like angry, because he said he was about something totally different. He said he's not about money. He's about legacy, and he wants to be remembered like Muhammad Ali. This is what he said. He wants to be put up there like that. Fighting Tom Sawyer is not the ticket, especially coming off put it this way, especially coming off of a controversial fight. That's not how to be remembered like Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali never did that. Look at the Frazier fights. Like, when did Muhammad Ali do that? You know, if we're talking boxing, for the people who know boxing, he said he wanted to be remembered like Muhammad Ali, but you're not doing things that Muhammad Ali did. Do you feel me? This is why new media continues to grow, continues to shine the rose that grew from the concrete. You can't say, you know, you shouldn't even mention Muhammad Ali unless you have the that's like me saying I want to be like Muhammad Ali, and then they try to draft me and they say, hey, if you don't do this draft, we putting you in jail. And I'm like, okay, I'll go. Then I don't want to be like Muhammad Ali, because Muhammad Ali stood up for what he believed in. You get what I'm saying? He stood up for what he believed in, right? So Tyson Fury, this is why the heat's on him, because you say you want to be like Muhammad Ali and remember like Muhammad Ali, but that action, Muhammad Ali, he lost to Ken Norton by split decision, and guess what? What was his next fight? Ken Norton. Hooks harder than Ken Norton. You got to know your boxing. Got to know your boxing. So you don't want to be like Muhammad Ali, because Muhammad Ali, like I said, Frazier, Ken Norton, he lost split decision to Ken Norton, and then he fought him right after that again. You, on the other hand, nearly got knocked the fuck out by Wilder, and then we're in negotiations, and now you're fighting Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn in the gang. That's not what Muhammad Ali would do. Rest in peace, God rest his soul, historically. So that you know, this is why the heat is on. The heat is on. This is why. You fighting Tom Sawyer. But like I said, I understand business. I understand money, because I do and make both. But the thing is, you can't say you one thing and about them. Like, what? Imagine if a dude, like, let's say that delivered dude, he's like, I don't like men's no more. I am delivered. And you see him kissing another man at the club. That is not what you said. You just said you are delivered and you don't like men's no more. So that's not congruent if motherfuckers see you the next week at the club kissing another man. You weren't delivered, or you delivered that shit back or some shit. You know, I don't care what people do in their personal time. I have my preference. You can have yours. So I don't care. I'm not mad at it. I'm just saying you can't say you about one thing and then do the other. You know, you like, what's the point of saying I don't like men's no more? I am delivered. And then they see you with men's still. This is what Tyson Fury did. Tyson Fury said, I'm the Gypsy King, long line of warriors, and all of my uncles and great pappies and everybody were warriors. I don't care about money, but then you took the money route. This is what Golovkin did. See, that's what I'm saying. These fighters bring more heat to themselves because they say things and don't stay consistent or congruent with what they said. It's that simple. If you just came out the game and said, yo, you know, I respected Muhammad Ali and all the greats, but I'm out here. You know, I'm trying to take the biggest events and make the... See, and the funny thing is this. Floyd Mayweather, in the second part of his career, the Money May state, he told you exactly. He was like, man, I done the livest gates. You know, I make the most money. I got the best of it. And people got mad. At least he's being consistent. He is looking for the biggest events. He is fighting Maidana coming off the Broner win, or Canelo, or whoever's hot, Pacquiao. You know, he is looking for the biggest event. So he's at least being consistent to who he is and what he's saying. Tyson Fury's not. Tyson Fury said, I'm not about that money. Tyson Fury said, fuck the money. I'm going to donate it all to charity. So, see, you must have donated that money to charity. And then ESPN called and he's like, all right, I need to re-up because I just gave my whole last check to, you know what I'm saying, to charity or something. So it's really about consistency. If Tyson Fury, you know, didn't do so, he had people fooled in believing that he was like totally different than Anthony Joshua. You're not different than Joshua. You're not Muhammad Ali. You're Tyson Fury. You can say the Gypsy King. That's cool. You Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King. But don't make it like it's something like... Golovkin did the same thing. And like I said... Like, what if I made fun of channels that accept donations and super chats, right? I'm like, oh, yeah, these fucking panhandling channels. You see, you notice I don't hate. I don't care what people get. If motherfuckers can have $1 million super chat, and if it ain't my name on it, I don't really care. But hypothetically on YouTube, let's say I was pocket watching, and I said, oh, look at these boxing channels begging for people's money. They fucking panhandle it like they do me, right? And then you see outros, and I'm saying, hey, if you'd like to support the channel, here you can, you know. And then I'm asking for super chats, or you know, you would be like, you're a hypocrite. You just said, that's why I don't box myself in, you know. Super chats, I encourage them. If you want to send a super chat, it helps the channel, helps me grow. I'm a one-man band, you know. It helps me facilitate things. So I'm not gonna downplay or criticize somebody donating to help a creator and then fuck around and accept donation. You see, that's what Tyson Fury did. He criticized Joshua, say he a businessman. That's what Golovkin did. He was like, oh, Canelo, Khan, it's not true. He's not true metal. It's not. Khan is not. It's nothing. All right, Khan's nothing. He's not true middle. But then you don't fight true middle because you fought in that same year, Kell Brook. So what we talking about? What we talking about? See, that's what I'm saying. It's not consistent. So these fighters, they do it to themselves. You can't be like, hey, Canelo, he's fighting Khan. You know, hey, what do you think? Golovkin, what do you think about Canelo Khan? Hey, guys, no guys, you know. Hey, no guys when it's Canelo. But then you fought Kell Brook. He a welterweight. Kell Brook should have been fighting Khan, and you should have been fighting Canelo. But y'all both fought welterweights. So, once again, the hypocrisy. How you gonna criticize that man Canelo for being a businessman? His businessman, not true fight. You know, all this shit. You not fighting true fight then. You know what I'm saying? What we talking? Hey, Golovkin, what are your thoughts on Mayweather McGregor? No, this is a business fight. This is business. You know, you criticizing it. It's a business fight. Conor and Floyd made more than you've ever made. Conor and Floyd in that fight made more money than Golovkin has ever made in any one fight. Probably, you know, all of his fights, to be honest. You know, I don't know, but definitely more than he's made in any singular fight. So you criticize that, even though we all knew it was going to be lucrative. And then you fought Vanes Matarosen. You know, you fought Kell Brook just because you would get $5 million. What are we talking? Same thing with Fury. You literally criticize Joshua. Joshua has real belts that we all can see, at least. You're like, Joshua's a shit house, and his fight with Joseph Parker was horrible and not even good enough to be my Spartan. And people ran with that, and they was fucking with you. But now you fighting Tom Sawyer. Joshua at least fought Joseph Parker, who was a champion at the time and undefeated. You fighting Swastika or whatever his name is. What's the dude's name? Schwarzenegger. Hey, what are you doing, Tyson? Who is your daddy? And what is it? It's not a tumor. You know, you fighting. It's not a tumor. What we talking about? That's why new media keeps smashing on y'all, because you know what I'm saying is true. Even Tyson Fury, if you heard this video, he knows what I'm saying is true. So you can get mad, you can try to run up, pull up. You know what I'm saying is true. You're fighting Schwarzenegger. Killian, give these people air. He's like, when I work out, it's like I'm in there. You right down there, get to the chopper. You fight and get to the chopper. What are we talking about? You know? That's why I'm saying I'm on some Roy Jones shit. I don't want to hear nothing else. Don't tell me about Wilder fighting Brazil. Tyson Fury fighting, get to the chopper. Yo, one ugly. You fighting the same, you know? You fighting word. Dominic Brazil went to the Olympics. Tom Schwartz looked like he went to Golden Corral. What are we talking about, bro? Who the fuck is Tom Schwartz? Dominic Brazil at least went to the Olympics. That motherfucker looked like you fighting somebody who, man, come on, bro. You fight motherfuckers that went to Golden Corral for, you know, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. for a discount and shit. Who is that, bruh? So all that cute little one-liners and shit. Check get buying and Wilder, he's a nobody, and in this country I'm betting. No one believes none of that, bro. None of it. You know, that's why Wilder's a people's champ. Wilder has to just keep doing what he's doing. Wilder got to, you know, put the fear of God in you. It's just what it is. And see, once again, old media, this is what they come to me with, the bullshit. Oh yeah, you're sucking Wilder's dick. It don't have shit to do with whatever the fuck freak shit y'all talking about. You're not proving me wrong. If you prove me wrong, then I'm hey, get out of Hey, I almost blocked the shooter, King Corleone. He's really quoting Arnold shit, and me and him are movie buffs, and we know our pop culture. He's like, see you at the party, Richter. Hey, bro, you always fucked me up with that with that Schwarzenegger, bro. That man said, see you at the party, Richter. Yeah. Hey, Bennett, let off some steam. Let off some steam down there, Maria Shriver. Like, bro, hey, bro, that Richter got me. You got me with the Richter. Yeah, mom, like, you don't, how can you say anything about he's fighting Dominic Brazil, who's his mandatory, and you fighting kindergarten cop and shit? Miss Johnson's a better teacher than you. Yeah, hey kid, do you know anyone who's not a better teacher than me? Like, you fighting kindergarten cop, bro. It's over. Nobody believes it. Until you stop fighting kindergarten cops and, you know, Predator, True Lies and all that, Total Recall, then we're not gonna believe it, bro. So anyway, Tyson Fury took the money route. It's not a tumor. It's that simple. Like I said, all this, see, the thing, even Conor McGregor, I fuck with Conor. I don't know what you're thinking. Fuck the Mayweather. His shtick is getting, you know, is getting weaker. Is getting weaker. Here's why. He lost his last 2 fights. So he was like, I'll dribble Mayweather's head on the canvas. Fuck the Mayweather, you know, calling him his daddy, saying he's old man, and I'm gonna dribble his head off the can. It didn't. Mayweather stopped you. You know, the guy they say has feather fists and pillow fists. You know, you did all that to sell the fight. Tell him that Blanca sent you. You know, I don't know what you're thinking. You did all that and still got stopped. Then you fought Khabib Nurmagomedov comeback fight. You feel me? And then you're like, I talked to the Dagestani. They told me he had a chicken jaw. You know, you guys got chicken jaw. Okay, he didn't have a chicken jaw when he submitted you. Like, what? He didn't have a chicken jaw when he hopped the octagon and, you know, jumped in the crowd like Jim Jones. But, you know, I didn't see a chicken jaw then. But, you know, when he was wrestling bears and wrestling you to the mat, I'm just saying, am I lying? See, y'all like my channel because you know I'm not lying. Even the haters know I'm not lying. No, I know it's Total Recall. I don't know if I said Predator. But that's what I'm saying. So now, you know, now it doesn't, you know, you can't say it and then not deliver. And then people are still going to 100% buy what you're saying. Like Conor McGregor, he keeps saying, like, this guy had a chicken jaw and, you know, blah, blah, blah. But then he lost. You know, that's like you have to combat. You have to kind of regroup. You know, like Adrian Broner said some things. You're like, ah, man, ass beating. I'm going to beat his ass. And then he lost the fight. So, you know, you kind of have to regroup at that. Mikey Garcia is like, oh, I'm fighting Errol Spence. I see something. So I really don't want to hear Mikey Garcia say he sees something in the next fight. Just bounce back. You know, just climb back up the ladder. But who's going to believe it if Mikey Garcia comes immediately back to fight Regis Prograis or something, and he's talking about, I see something, guys. I see. We've said that last time. So that's what I'm saying. I like showboating. I like cockiness, but you got to produce. That's why Mayweather is the greatest, because at the highest of levels, big fights, big events, all the shit he was talking, he backed it up. He really did. Conor McGregor, not so much. You know, he said, fuck the Mayweather, all that. Got people riled up and, you know, getting tattoos of you and holding Irish flags and Lucky Charms done sold out in the stores. You know, you increased the sales of Lucky Charms. The magically delicious slider, you know. We got horseshoes and marshmallows. You know, you did all that. That's cool. You got people riled up. But then you got stopped in both of those fights. So, same thing with Tyson Fury. No one can believe what you're saying, and you fighting Schwarzenegger. You know, you can't, oh, Wilder's a chicken house, Dawsa, bitch ass motherfucker. You know, you can't be saying all this shit, but you fighting a person who's leagues below anything Wilder's accomplished. Bro, let's reverse the roles. If y'all motherfuckers was mad at Wilder fighting, let's say, Dominic Breazeale is mandatory, or Bermain Stavern in the rematch when he was his mandatory, what the fuck would y'all say if Wilder was fighting Tom Schwarzenegger? Be real. Especially if he was coming off of a controversial win where he was saying he won easy. What would they say about what? See, new media, I force you guys to think about it in a way you can't deny. Because we all know. Oh, okay, I got you, King Corleone. I force y'all to put this into perspective. You know what they would say if Wilder was fighting Tom Schwarzenegger. And he, like, let's say Luis Ortiz ended like Tyson Fury Wilder ended. And Luis Ortiz knocked Deontay Wilder unconscious, you know, and then he woke up, got up, and he was like, you know, and fought back a little bit for the remainder of the round. And then they scored it a draw. They were both on Showtime, and then Wilder pieced out and went to ESPN to fight Tom Schwarzenegger. Just put it in different, that's all you have to do. What would you guys say about Deontay Wilder if Deontay Wilder fought Luis Ortiz and the Wilder Fury outcome and how that fight played out with the knockdowns and everything and the outboxing that happened, and then they were in negotiations for a rematch, which would have been done better than the first one, and then Wilder pulls out negotiations, gets on Instagram like, yo, hey, guess what, guys? Ha 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 ha. I'm on ESPN now. Ha ha ha. I'm not fighting Luis Ortiz. Sorry, WBC. Ha ha ha. I'm fighting Tom Schwarzenegger. Come on, bro. What would the fans say? I want to hear it. What would the fans say about Deontay Wilder? Like, switch the names. That's all you have to do. If Wilder, everything that played out and transpired for Fury on his behalf and the Wilder fight, and you replace Fury with Wilder, and you place Wilder in the equation with Luis Ortiz, what would they say about Deontay Wilder? If Deontay Wilder did to Luis Ortiz after a first fight what Tyson Fury is doing to Wilder after her first fight. I want to see it. I want to hear it. I want to see you guys attempt to lie to me so you can get clapped in this hot seat. They'll call him Mr. Chicken Glass Jaw. Exactly. What else? Can y'all hear me? What? We good? See, I'm ready to go. Without the complexion for the protection, he would be crucified. Absolutely. And they know it. They know what I'm saying is true. They would say PBC fighters are a joke, then say black fighters this, black fighters that, disgrace to boxing. Exactly. They'll say he ruined his whole legacy. They'll say he's, you know, all types of bitches, pussies, and chicken jaws, and all type of stuff. They would be like, the Black Channel, why don't the Black Snake rematch? Why don't blacks take rematches? You already did it once. Get knocked out again. Why would they not? That's what they would do. They would be like, the Black Channel. All they do is drink Kool-Aid. They never want a rematch. They want to sit there and eat their jerk chicken. Why won't they rematch? Man, bro, come on, bro. Why won't Wilder fight Tyson again? He needs to. He just wants barbecue ribs and collard greens. Why does Wilder drink all the Kool-Aid? And he puts the whole bag of sugar. That's what they would say, bro. You know what I'm saying is true, bro. It would be, and then Wilder fighting Tom Schwarzenegger. This fight stinks. I think this fight smells like chitlins. This is the chitlin circus. Why would Wilder pick Tom Schwartz? Like chitlin, what the fuck y'all even talking about, bro? I'm the realest that ever existed, bro. Y'all know what the fuck I'm saying. Like chitlins, like what the fuck did that even cut? We know, we see it, you know. Wilder's too busy eating pickled pig feet. Like like motherfuckers act like blacks just eat, you know, universal. Like motherfuckers ain't eating no pickled pig feet by and large. You know, you might go to like Louisiana or something, like some old school eating chitlins. These motherfuckers ain't just eating chitlins and shit. These motherfuckers are stupid, bro. Hulk Bradley, we in here, digital mob gang. Oh my god. Yo, what the fuck that chitlin? PU, this place smells like chitlin. Like, smell like chitlins, bro. What are you talking about? I get it. We see. That's what I'm saying. But the thing is, new media, we coming. We not stopping. The locomotion has just got started. So get ran over. I dare you to lay on the tracks. I want them to lay on the tracks when the locomotion is coming. Please do. Lay on these tracks, old media. Because we stronger than you. We faster than you. We coming. Man, I don't know who you fighting. Dutch Schultz, you know, Charlie Brown. Like, nobody knows this guy, bro. It's the reality of it. And like, at least like even Lomachenko, I'm, you know, Anthony Corolla, that's cool. You know, it's not really a fight I would want to see. I would rather see Teofimo or, you know, just Richard Comey or something. He can say that, yo, that's my mandatory, but yo, that's my man. So, you know, he at least can be, well, hey, yo, man, you know, that's my mandatory. You know, I gotta fight him. Tyson can't even do that. He can't be like, oh, that's my lineal champ mandatory. Like, I gotta fight Tom Schwarzenegger. So he has no, that's what I'm saying. Tyson Fury has left all of his fans with no excuses. And then, you know how people treat this like Bloods and Crips and shit, you know what I'm saying? So Tyson, he took away all the ammunition that any Tyson Fury fan could use against the op. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say, you know, they, like I said, I don't do this. I'm just talking about the fan. They'd be like, oh, I'm a Tyson Fury fan, so Joshua's the enemy, Wilder's the enemy. No matter what side you're attacking, you have no bullets. You have no bullets to attack Deontay Wilder. You have no bullets to attack Anthony Joshua because they both have better fights than you do. You know, you could say, oh, yeah, Wilder and Joshua should be my bag boy, which sounds borderline racist, to be honest. I'm not saying he is a racist, but what I'm saying, that sounds real sus. You talking about shine my boots, boy. Like, man, we live in a society. People got to watch that. You know, we got to, because, see, especially foreign fighters, because you guys might get crossed up in some stuff, and if you're unfamiliar with the history of America, you might not personally get it. That's why when in Rome, do as Romans do. America has some deep, dark secrets, and America has, you know, a past that Americans know about. So if you come to America, you should probably learn the law of the land, because certain things like Conor McGregor, who's talking about, you know, Rocky Balboa went to a monkey gym or some shit, you know, all this monkey shit, and okay, you know, looking. But again, if you're from the UK, maybe you didn't get it. But that's why you have to be, like, I took, when I was at Lowe's, they had this course. It was a cultural awareness course. Because they were saying, basically, you have to understand and embrace there's people in, you know, from all walks of life. So in certain societies, certain things are accepted versus certain things are offensive. You know, like, let's say in South America, you might be able to do X, Y, and Z. You know, you might, and it'd be like, you might be able to rub a girl's neck or some shit, and then that's the way to greet them. But in America, if you just come up and rub a girl's neck at a store or something, you gonna be with Harvey Weinstein and Cosby and them, because there's different cultures. You feel what I'm saying? You're going to be right up in that cell with Bill. You know, you try something like Q-Rap Pull-Up, motherfucker kiss, never going to give you up. You can't just do that. What? That's what I'm saying. That's why you have to learn where you're at. You know, imagine me if I just walked up to a chick at the Spence Garcia fight, and she was like, oh, Boxingego, and I'm just talking to her. I'm like, yeah, what up, fight world, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, fuck all that. And I just kissed her all in the mouth. And I grabbed her head. There's an old Cisco song when he was hot. And Cisco said, do I got to grab the back of your neck to make you listen to me? That's what Q-Rap Pull-Up did. He was listening to Cisco, maybe. He grabbed the back of her neck and kissed her. You know what I'm saying? So you have to know where you're at. Like I said, if you don't, you might be in that cell with Bill Cosby talking about, I would like to talk to Q-Rap Pull-Up about the pudding and why he's in jail. He's in prison with me, you see. Because I am the ghost dad, you see. Kiss the bitch in the mouth. You gonna be in jail with Bill. I'm trying to warn you. Knitting Cosby sweaters. So that's my whole thing. Anyway, Tyson Fury, I don't know what he meant by it, but he talking about like Wilder's his bag boy and, you know, shine his shoes. You got to watch it because, you know, different culture. You at least know the history, because you saying Joshua, he's from the UK, so he comes from the same soil as you. Wilder doesn't. Wilder comes from the deep South. And if you don't know America, you don't know the deep South's history, then I probably wouldn't say some of those comments, because the deep South is still going through it. There's still parts in America, especially in the South, where, you know, it's not all the way equal. It's not all the way even Steven. So I would really teeter, you know, like, see, and this is the thing. And this is what makes me wonder if people are doing that on purpose, or if they know what they're doing and they know what they're saying and still trying to be hurtful anyway. Because Wilder, for example, and I would say, honestly, most Americans, unless they have family in the UK, a lot of us don't know much about gypsy travelers, right? So we don't make typically make Gypsy Traveler jokes and shit. I haven't seen many Americans do that because a lot of Gypsy Travelers, we're not familiar with that culture. Do you get what I'm saying? But a lot of people, you know, Tyson Fury, oh, dust me shoes and wipe me lawn and wipe me. You sound like Leo DiCaprio in Django, whether you intended or not. You know what I'm saying? You talking about wipe me boots and, you know, take the skin off me, whatever the fuck he was saying. So all I'm saying is, if you're not from here, then you should be well versed on the policies and, you know, the history of that area. I'm not putting that on, you know, that's a big heavy coat to put on someone to say that they're actually we know there are racist motherfuckers, but I'm not, you know, I can't do Tyson Fury particularly like that based off of that, because it's all kind of circumstantial. But all I'm saying is you should at least know the culture. You should at least know the culture to know what's culturally acceptable. Like I said, Kubrat Pulev, I don't even know where he's from. Bulgaria, I think. What he did to that reporter, maybe in Bulgaria, I don't know. Maybe in Bulgaria that's accepted, but you're not in Bulgaria. You know what I'm saying? And when you're talking to a guy who has dark skin, who grew up in Alabama, you know, the Deep South, you should be aware of that, you know, especially when you start talking about dance for me, boy, and, you know, wipe me boots, and I'm going to employ you. You think it's fun and gags and games, but you got to be aware of that. You got to be aware of that type of stuff. That's why it makes me wonder, are people doing this like Conor McGregor when he said what he said about monkeys dancing and this and that? Do you know what you're doing and you're just trying to get away with it, see how far you can push the envelope, or are you not aware? But either way, you know, if I'm on the freeway and the speed limit is 65 and I'm driving 92, that's my fault, because I got to know where I'm at. I got to know the law of the land, if you will. It's my job. You think a cop's going to be like, oh, you're from Georgia, so even though you're doing 101 in California on the freeway, we're going to let you go when the speed limit is 65. No, they're going to give me a fucking ticket. New media, man. We just killing, bro. We breaking y'all down like Errol Spence with Mikey Garcia. You just getting broken down point by point. I told you. We going to see who outworks who. So, yeah, Tyson Fury. But either way, like, you know what I'm saying? With Tyson Fury, all that Joshua and Wilder can hold me boots and sign autographs for me and all that. They've got better fights than you right now. that's the reality of it. That's what I'm saying. So all these little like quips and witty jokes or dark humor, whatever you're calling it. Get it? Dark humor. But all this stuff that you're saying, nobody believes it, bro. I'm from Bulgaria. It's not that it's accepted. We are just more impulsive. But Kubrat just love bitches. Hey, bro, you and Kubrat finna be in jail, bro. Shout out to Bulgaria, but both of y'all going to jail. The motherfucker said we grab her by the pussy. Hey, bro. All right, come to America if you're not already here. Come to America with that. This is not the time to be doing all that. Let me tell you, you're gonna be, you know, you, Kevin Spacey, Journey, Smollett, Juicy, what's his name? All y'all, R. Kelly, all y'all gonna be in one cell, bro. This is not the spot to be doing all that. America, we got so many issues right now. You're going to be in there with Cosby and them. Like, I would like to watch Boxingego, but I can't see because the TV's being occupied, you see. It's not the climate for that. You talking about, oh, we just impulsive like that. All right. And them police going to be impulsive like that when they show up at your job with them cuff links. You going, oh, I didn't know, man. I didn't know. Juicy got cleared of all charges, though. Yeah, I seen that. Bro, I ain't, like, you know, that's what's up. But I don't trust no man named Juicy. That's a Biggie song. What we talking? Like, bro, I don't trust, like, that's just my personal preference in life. I can't trust, like, I can't even have partners named Juicy. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? To each his own. But, like, I care about my friends' names and shit. You know, I'm not calling no man Juicy. Then my mama, you know, my mama hit me up or whatever. What'd you do last night, baby? Yeah, me and Juicy went to the pool hall, you see. Juicy J, I don't really mention his name either. I say 3-6 Mafia. I don't really say Juicy. Bro, I'm telling you, you trying to force me to like, you like DJ Vlad and shit. You trying to force me to like saying, I don't call him. I'll say JJ, motherfucker, or 3-6 Mafia. Slop on my nut. Like, oh God. You know, I don't really call him Juicy J. I'll skip around him. Oh, yeah, you know, DJ Paul. Like, bro, I'm not calling no dude. Bro, y'all got me fucked up. I'm not calling no dude no Juicy. I'm talking to my mama and shit. What'd you do yesterday, baby? Yeah, me and Juicy went to play billiard balls. We went to play some pool. Me and Juicy, you see. You went with a young lady named Juicy? I don't know why I'm making my mom sound like a Southern belle and shit, because she from Sacramento and shit. And lived in Frisco, San Francisco. I don't even know why I'm making my mom sound like, she don't really sound like the damsel in distress. But you got, my mom gonna have a Southern voice right now, motherfucker. But yeah, how was your day, baby? Yeah, me and fucking Juicy. He tried to juice me. He had them tight little red shorts on all over your body. Like, I gotta go. Yeah, gotta cook for your dad. Hey, bro, I ain't call no dude Juicy. Juicy Somali. Bro, that sound like a chicken dish or something. Like, right here we got the parsley, parsnips, potatoes au gratin, and the juicy Somali chicken. Like, bro, I'm not calling no dude. I can't trust you. We having sleepovers and shit. Your name Juicy. Nah, bro. You Juicy. Yeah, you Juicy. I say Orenthal or OJ. I don't call him. Yeah, Juicy Simpson. Yeah, give me sign my Buffalo Bill jersey, Juicy J. Like, bro, ain't nobody calling. You see Naked Gun, Leslie Nielsen, and Juicy Simpson. Ain't nobody calling them the Juice, but women or some shit. Y'all trying to force me to call someone. That's one of my favorite movies, though, Juice. But I ain't calling no dude Juice. You know, just what? That's, bro, I'm just telling you. I don't have nothing against nobody. Someone said always juice it. Hey, bro. Y'all be wildin' in this chat, bro. This should be funny. Anybody read the article with Bob Arum trying to get AJ to ESPN? Bob Arum don't give no fucks. Bob Arum will steal your fighter. All's fair and love and war. The motherfucker conniving with it, bro. But I didn't see it on ESPN, or whatever. I seen it on World Boxing News. I made a video about it, and I did a live stream, talked about it. He's right, though. Bob Arum said, let's talk about it. Hey, DAZN, man, you gotta do something. Hey, Juicy, nigga. Hey, where Juicy at, man? Yo, Bishop. What's the big idea? You telling the cops I killed Raheem. Like, that motherfucker was like overacting the fuck out of that scene. Radamez or Raheem. No, that was Raheem. Radamez. He's like, what's the big idea? You telling the cops I killed Raheem. Sacktown, Chinatown, motherfucker. Like, hey, bro, you tripping. He had that shit in Bishop nostril, like, Damn, that made my nose itch. But Bob Arum got a point, bro. Damn, I like cut nose hair out. What the fuck? He said AJ's doing a disservice not getting the pay-per-view. Listen. He said, I think we lost. Riverside, motherfucker. Hey, I think we lost. That's funny. Bob Arum is right. You know, AJ is with Rematch Room, and he's enthralled in Eddie Hearn's Real Deal, and he's sitting up here fighting for money that they're throwing out. They're doubling the price. That's why they're doubling the price. They got to get some of that money back, bro. But the thing is, everybody else is in deals that has not ostracized pay-per-view. So even though Tyson Fury, he's right now he's fighting Schwarzenegger, Tom Schwarzenegger, but he still has the option to take bigger fights in the future. You know, like, you know, they might fuck around and put Dillian White Fury on pay-per-view, or if Wilder fight comes to the table, that would be pay-per-view. So both Wilder and Tyson Fury are aligned well because they're aligned with networks with streaming app capability or linear platforms, actual channels on your TV station, on your satellite, where you can do it. DAZN is not a channel. Ego, you the biggest hoe in YouTube boxing commentary. That's what's up. Now what? You feel better? Motherfucker named King Luigi. You feel better? Hey, Luigi. You feel better? Damn, my shooters got to him. They tried, though. Yeah, I'm a bunch of hoes and bitches on this here internet. That's what's up. Anywho, Bob Arum's right. Just because Joshua, like, I've had the same questions as Arum, as Mr. Arum, bro. We're talking about no pay-per-view on one platform that happens to be the newest, that happens to not be aligned with an actual TV station, with the actual TV channel. You get what I'm saying? And on top of that, out of all fighting combat sports that are not on DAZN, DAZN happens to be the only one preaching pay-per-view is dead. Ronnie O said, dude lasted 5 seconds. That's what I'm saying. They just have to get one off and, you know, and just get clapped and do it for the old media, I guess. So, you know, it's always interesting to see how this was going to work. Like, put it this way. I told you, DAZN is trying to get big fighters. They didn't get that many. And then the ones that they did get, they potentially had to overpay, so they didn't go anywhere else. So now you're stuck with a big starting 6, no bench, no pay-per-view to supplement those high paychecks that these fighters required to join. I just don't, you know, I don't know how that'll work long term under that price point. You know, they're gonna have to get a lot of subscribers, and at a cheaper price point with something being new, they're gonna have to dump in a lot of money to the point where they turn profit, like long-term turn profit, where everything's a profit. You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna have to dump in, you're gonna have to put in a lot. Like it's like buying a new car versus a used car that has problems. You know, I'm talking about a used car that has, you know, I could see the vision. You know, this Chevelle might be dope, but the electrical wiring's fucked up. You got to rebuild the engine. The upholstery looks like shit. You know what I'm saying? So obviously that's gonna take a lot, and you got to determine, is it worth it to restore this car with all the modifications that I have to do, or are you better off getting, you know, a newer car that's up to date and modern, and it has, you know, the features you need. So that's a decision DAZN is going to find out and have to make. It's that simple. They're the only ones out of the big guy, you know, none of their competitors are saying pay-per-view is dead. That's a problem. Block Zshan, we don't care what you're talking about. That's a problem. This is the same dude coming back over and over. You already said I'm the biggest hoe in boxing. That's what's up. Great job. Then you got clapped. Now you're getting clapped again. Once again, they're not stopping the message. Shooters handle that. Zishan Malik. So that's the hurdle that they're faced with. They're gonna have to dump in a lot of money, you know. You have to potentially not put fighters in the most dangerous fights, because you're building up you're new, you're building up your stable. You have to build up clientele, you have to build up trust within the community. And this is the thing where now they've raised the price point. Obviously $9.99 sound better than $20 a month, $19.99, right? But now you just doubled the price point in less than a year, less than 9 months. You've already doubled the price point. That's not a good sign, people. You can say whatever you want, but that's not. You doubled the price point before you let your big wigs, Canelo and AJ, even fight. So to me, that stipulates something from a business perspective. Instead of waiting a couple months for Canelo versus Jacobs, a couple months, those are back-to-back fights, a couple months for AJ versus Gerald Miller to see if that, you know, what type of traction that gets you. You've already jumped and said, no, now is the time, let's double up the price. That's not a good sign, bro. Yo, Ego, respect to you from Miami. Shout out to the 305. I don't think from a business anyone would say that would be a good sign, because to me that shows you don't have the confidence that it's going to absolutely get you the numbers you're anticipating. So you're doubling up the price to try to make the revenue come sooner, which could backfire depending on if people are turned off by the price, because you've raised the price in less than a year. Versus you came out saying, hey, for only $9.99, 100 fights. Now you got to say for $19.99 a month, 100 fights. Or what people keep bringing up is, oh, it's $8.33 for 12 months. But the thing is, you have to convince people why, when you haven't been around for a year and you don't have a history of putting on the biggest fights because you're new, why people are going to come out of pocket $100. Like, of course, everything, Dropbox, Google Drive, they all have like benefits if you pay up front, but you know what you're getting with those services up front. Amazon Prime, I know what it's going to grant me. For 1 year, I have access to Amazon Movies, which has 1,000 movies, Amazon Photos. I get 1 or 2 days shipping, you know. I know what I'm getting right then and there. It's not the same with DAZN because I don't know who they're going to acquire in the future. I don't know what matches they decide to make. I don't have control over that. So people might do the year, but you're going to have to establish yourself in general to make people want to. That's why people are going to be hesitant. Bob Arum has been involved in some of big. He had Muhammad Ali and Sugar Ray Leonard. You know, he had Floyd Mayweather, Cotto, Oscar De La Hoya. You know, he had great legendary fighters. He put on Pacquiao, Juan Manuel Marquez. Bob Arum has a track record. He has Crawford and Loma now. You know, he has a track record of doing events and putting on big events. So does Heyman, shit like that. DAZN as a network, they don't. You know what I'm saying? And they're not established in America. They just came out. So that's the issues that they're facing. That's no hate for me. I'm not mad at DAZN, you know, but these are the trials and tribulations that they're going to have to make it through. Convince people to get the savings by committing for a year when they only know, the only thing people are telling me is, hey, Canelo fights two times a year, right? And that's $75 a pop, right? So the only reason, there's no guarantee Canelo, if someone, this is God forbid, I'm not saying I want this, if Canelo loses, he might not fight more than once a year, right? If he got knocked out bad or something. If he won but got injured and fractured his pinky again or something, you know, something like that, or his thumb, he might not fight again. So you can't just expect me to pay $100 up front and I don't even know if I'm even going to get 2 Canelo fights, because Canelo hasn't even fought Jacob. We don't even know the outcome of that. You know, or what if Jacobs beats him? You know, is he going to go to an immediate rematch? Is he going to fight like, you know, a Rocky Fielding type to try to get his bearings back and pursue a rematch? I don't know those things. So again, that's where the risk factor comes with a new company that hasn't established himself as a dominant player. You're new. Now, if DAZN was putting on like Tevin Farmer, Tank Davis, and then, you know, Ryan Garcia versus Tank, and then Anthony Joshua versus Wilder, Anthony Joshua Miller, and then right after he was fighting, you know, fights we won in. If Triple G was fighting Andra, then that's something different. After you establish yourself, then people won't have a problem forking out $100. But if all you could tell me right now is pay $100 for Canelo to hopefully fight 2 times, that's not really much different than pay-per-view. It really isn't. Because let's say Canelo fights 2 times a year. If the big major selling point is Canelo fighting twice a year and I have to pay $100, then that's the equivalent of me buying 2 Canelo $50 pay-per-views, if that's the major selling point. Because a lot of, like I said, DAZN, this their struggle as they try to build their stable, a lot of the fights are filler fights. They have main events that, to me, are they're what PBC would have as a co-feature or undercard fight. Like next week, Ryan Garcia is fighting Jose Lopez. How many people know Jose Lopez? That's the main event. I'm not knocking, that's where Ryan Garcia is at, cool. But that's the main event. You know, Jaime Munguia, out of all the action at 54, he's fighting Dennis Hogan. I'm not really familiar with Dennis Hogan. I don't really know how good or bad. Just like Jaime Munguia's last opponent, Inui. So that's cool. You're keeping Jaime Munguia busy, but he's a champion defending against people I don't know. And here's more double standards. Wilder's fighting his mandatory. In Brazil. People complain about it. Jaime Munguia is a champion, but because of who he's aligned with and because he's young and whatever other reasons, people, they're mad. They're not saying nothing that Jaime Munguia is fighting this Inui, who's not even the famous Inui from the super bantamweight or whatever, and then fighting Dennis Hogan. Man, I could think of a million fights that I would love to see Jaime Munguia in. He could fight, you know, Canelo. He could fight Erickson Lubin. I would like J-Rock. Jared Swift Hurd would obviously be a phenomenal fight. Jermell Charlo. You know, there's a ton of guys at 54. Edislandi Lara, but he's not fighting them. So again, it becomes hard to make that decision to pull the trigger for me, especially when DAZN has had a history this year and past, like last year, of scheduling fights on the same week as another bigger fight. You know, like Thomas Delorme happened on the same night as another fight, or the day before. You know, Broner Pacquiao was on Saturday. Demetrius Andrade, Artur Akov was on Friday. Tevin Farmer versus Jono was on Friday, and then Mikey Garcia Spence was on Saturday. So I'm usually covering the bigger fight, you know, for my channel's growth, and because that's the fans want. So these, once again, these are all realistic concerns, in my opinion, that DAZN has to answer. People will pay $100. The price point's not, you know, the worst. You know, we pay more for pay-per-view, but when people aren't just gonna, it doesn't work like that. No one's gonna just pay $100 and not know what they're getting. And then, and if you're saying, hey, but at least you're getting 2 Canelo fight, well, guess what? You said $9.99 a month, right? Then you said pay-per-view is dead. If I'm paying for 2 Canelo fights $100 a month, and that's the best of the value that I'm getting, then that's the equivalent of buying 2 Canelo pay-per-views at $50 a piece. Because, you know, that's just the reality of it. So me, I think DAZN, like Bob Arum is saying, they made a mistake canceling out pay-per-view or trying so hard to distance themselves from pay-per-view, because you never know. Pay-per-view might be the saving grace that you have to need to justify a fight. You know, otherwise put fights on that are you're putting on with a big star versus someone we don't want to see, and then now it's justifiable because only one fighter you have to pay handsomely, but then the event's not going to do. Like, okay, Triple G, man, I could do this all day, man. Here's an example. Mike Coppinger, he works with Fox PBC in The Ring magazine. he tweeted today, and I made a video about it. The Boxingego quick hits. We get the point now, Ego. Don't watch my channel. If you get the point, I'm gonna keep talking about it. So if you get the point, then click off the video, change the station. Mike Tyson voice. Anywho, Mike Coppinger, he put out a tweet, and he says he got sources told him, he got information that Jermall Charlo and PBC have offered the contender winner Brandon Adams a shot at Jermall Charlo, or a fight with him, or whatever. And so has DAZN and PBC, or so has Triple G and DAZN, right? So here's the thing. I don't know what Brandon Adams will decide. Maybe he decides neither. Maybe he decides Triple G. Maybe he decides Charlo. But if Triple G fights if Charlo gets the Brandon Adams fight, then that really fucks over Triple G. So I don't know what DAZN's offering, because he's probably mulling over his decisions. But if for any reason the Brandon Adams fight goes to Charlo in Houston, then who is Triple G going to fight? Coming off of a loss, who is Triple G going to fight? The only other name I've heard rumored for Triple G next was Camille. I don't even remember his last name, but Camille something. Some random name. Polish. Shout out to Nelson Santos. Appreciate you. No, I'm being for real. See, this is why my channel, this is why we succeed, because we always think ahead. I'm asking you, if for some reason PBC offer was more up the alley of Brandon Adams and he fights Jermall Charlo, and that was someone that Triple G's team was looking at, then who is Triple G gonna fight? Like, what if Brandon Adams likes his chances better with Jermall Charlo than Triple G, or the PBC offer is better? Then who is Triple G gonna fight? I'm just curious, because DAZN, you have to now justify $20 a month or $100. So who's Triple G gonna fight? A fight I would happily pay for. Canelo and Jacobs are jammed up. They're fighting each other, so he can't fight them realistically. He's gonna have to work with another promoter like Charlo, which they haven't done so far. You know, they haven't worked with another promoter on a major fight like Charlo versus Triple G. Name a DAZN fight where they did that. You know, Tevin Farmer, Tank, or anything like that. And another thing, with what Eddie Hearn said coming into the game, they might be trying to like make in-house fights and not work with them, just to spite, because Eddie Hearn said all the stuff he said, and just so they, you know, to increase the likelihood that they fail. You got to look at it like Leonard Ellerby told you several times. He said, I got the superstar. Javante is a pay-per-view star. He's not fighting on DAZN. I don't know what Eddie Hearn. So what are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? Tank versus Tevin Farmer is an awesome fight, but Leonard Ellerby and Mayweather Promotions said Tank's not fighting on DAZN. And Tank, you know, in terms of popularity and like A-sideness and shit, he is the A-side. So how's that fight gonna happen? See, it can only happen on DAZN if they allow for it. But so far, the top Al Heyman guys like Deontay Wilder didn't go over there. Charlos didn't go over there. Spence didn't go over there. Mikey didn't go over there. They said Tank ain't fighting. You know, we're gonna keep Tank busy. We're gonna make him happy. Give him a Baltimore fight. Jared Swift Hurd's fighting Julian J. Rock Williams. So you get what I'm saying? So PBC and Top Rank, they might be starving to zone out. Like, none of us is working with you. Eddie Hearn said all this stuff about taking over and, you know, destroying American promoters. They might just be trying to leave them in no man's land. And like, okay, let's see you make in-house fights and see how long you can do this. It's business. It's cutthroat. I'm trying to tell you guys. It's cutthroat. So, once again, who's Triple G going to fight? If Brandon Adams goes and does the Charlo deal on PBC, Who's Triple G going to fight for DAZN that justifies $20 a month? How come Tevin Farmer didn't make himself more valuable by fighting Berchelt or Cancio to get another belt? I don't know. I think, seeing this is the other thing. That's a good point. I think Tevin Farmer would take the fight, but would Eddie Hearn make the fight when he's trying to extend this? You get what I'm saying? Is he trying to work Tevin Farmer, you know, Matchroom and Golden Boy to make that particular fight? Or are they trying to give him independent individual fights to string it out to fill dates, you know? So what are we talking about, people? Who is Triple G? Jay Beats. I like where your head's at. I would support that fight. But let's do a vote right now. Who believes that Gennady Golovkin will fight Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade in his very next fight? Can I get a hell yes if you think Triple G is going to fight Andrade? Not will he fight. He's going to fight. If you think Triple G's next fight is going to be Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade, WBO middleweight champion of the world, can I get a hell yes? If you think he's not going to fight him next, then say no. King Corleone said hell nah. Mir said hell no. Nelson Santos said hell no. LJ said hell no from Australia. Hell nah. See? Nobody believes that Triple G's if it happens, great. I'll be the first one to report about it because I'll be so happy. You making excuses. Dude is 37. What that got to do? Hold on. Hold on. Fuck that. I told you I'm destroying everything in my path. What does Triple G being 37 have to do with anything? A Derry, what does him being 37 have to do with anything? So he got a 5-fight deal or 6-fight, whatever. But because he's 37, why'd they sign him then? He don't. So he's automatically what's the word? Automatically like free from fighting competition. What are we talking about? What does him being 37 have to do with anything? He's a silver medalist. He's only once beaten. DAZN sign. Now I'm saying they're going to want to put him in there with big names. They not going to want to. Why? He's a silver medalist and he's 37, bro. Mayweather was 37 when he beat Canelo. So explain that. How is it that Floyd Mayweather, Mr. Brittle Hands, Mr. Runner, like you guys say, was 37 fighting a young-ass, strong-ass, bigger Canelo at 23 when Canelo was undefeated coming off the biggest win of his career, you know, Austin Trout, but he had already beat Jose Cito Lopez, Shane Mosley, Baltimore, you know, former champions, guys like that, right? And Mayweather was 37. They don't want to risk the investment. I agree with you, Ego. That's so. If you don't want to risk the investment to make the fights that the fans want, you don't have a deep stable, but you just doubled your price, $20, or you want me to commit for a year, how's this going to work? This is a pickle then. Because, again, fans will pay for quality. If Triple G fought Andrade, he's a quality fighter. He is a threat. He is a champion. And then you could market it as the winner of this fight gets the winner of Canelo Jacobs for undisputed. So you're basically telling me they're not going to want to risk the investment. So Golovkin, they're going to have him cherry pick to try to stay safe and warm for Canelo if he beats Jacobs. Then why should I pay $20 a month for that? Like, don't get it twisted. I'm not thrilled about Tyson Fury versus Tom Schwarzenegger, but guess what? That's only one fight that Top Rank is doing. You know what I'm saying? That's only one. The ESPN app has UFC too. You know, so there's a couple fights I'm going to check out just with that, right? Beyond that, ESPN has been established, and beyond that, and so they have like LeBron James has a show coming on MLB season's about to start on the 28th. So they have other shit. Beyond that, it's 5 times cheaper per month for ESPN Plus. So the cheaper something is and the more value you get, the more you can easily justify. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, let's say I had a gym membership and I went to Anytime Fitness and it was $5.99 a month for Anytime Fitness, and then sometimes the machines were being out-serviced. That would be a nuisance. That would be an inconvenience. Damn, this treadmill's broke and it needs servicing. That would be an inconvenience. But I'm paying $4.99 a month. Okay. But if I'm paying more money, $19.99 or $39.99, the more money I'm paying, the more that inconvenience is going to be not acceptable for me. You know what I'm saying? Like at the Tom Schwartz versus Tyson Fury, I'm not really thrilled about that fight, me personally. But there's other value in the ESPN Plus. They have other programming. I got to catch up on that Deion Sanders. They got a Mike Tyson documentary I want to catch up on, right? They got other top ranked cards, Lomachenko, Corolla. I just want to see what lightweight's looking like. So it's not just like they got UFC. So it's not like, oh, if all the fights were like Tom Schwartz versus Tyson Fury, then of course people would be like, what? I don't want that. But again, you can justify the more money you pay, the harder it becomes to justify. If I get a slice of pizza in New York and it was $1.99 and it was cool. I only paid $1.99 for it. Like, you can almost be like, what did you expect? But if I went and they're like raving about it and it had all these 5-star reviews and it was $14.99 a slice and then the shit was garbo, I'd be like, damn, that shit was weak. I paid $15 for a piece of pizza and it wasn't even that good. That's the thing. DAZN just hiked up their price. You telling me they want to protect their investment with Triple G? Okay. So and then again, I don't know who's pulling the trigger with DAZN, like making all the final calls and judgment, but you got to look at it like this. Why are you taking such big gambles paying the fighters and throwing out money crazy to pay salaries, but then when it comes to the actual competition that would force fans to have to fuck with you to see these great unforgettable fights, then you want to cherry pick, then you want to not play so risky? That don't make sense. Me personally, as a business owner, I'd rather not take such high financial risks and put the fighters in riskier fights, Like, hey, we're still paying you good money, Triple G. We got to have you fight Andrade, Instead of giving him, let's say, I'm just making up numbers. Instead of giving him $25 million to fight Brandon Adams or the Kareem or whatever the dude's name is, maybe give him $18 million, save a little bit of money, and then still have him fight somebody with Derevyanchenko or somebody we want to see him fight. You can't take financial risk by paying these fighters knowing that they might lose, and then they on a 5-6 fight deal. So you're taking crazy gambles like that. But then you don't want to take the gamble of seeing Triple G versus Andrade. If Triple G is only once beaten, he's a good fighter. He's a silver medalist. Let's see it. That's a great fight. I would fully support it. Why would DAZN sign a 37-year-old man to a 6-fight deal? Waste of money. You know what the funny thing is? This is just a theory. This is just a theory. Oh my gosh. If y'all want to hear this theory, I just thought about this. I've thought about it before, but I never put it out there. If y'all want to hear this crazy theory of mine, can I get a hell yeah? And smash the like button. I got a crazy theory for y'all. There's no report or sources say or anything. This is just a theory. Me constructing that. Oh man. All right, I'm gonna tell you. Business is brutal. Business is, cutthroat. What if this is the ultimate chess move, people? What if if Al Heyman is really thinking like this man is next level. He's next, and Bob Arum partially, because I know they all wanted Triple G. But if Al Heyman particularly is doing this, he's a business genius. He is really playing chess. This is crazy. What if we all know what DAZN as a new company is up against, what they have to accomplish, what they have to do, what they're trying to do without pay-per-view. We know these things. HBO got out of the business. Boom. Canelo freed up. Everybody wants him. He's a big star. ESPN wanted him. Showtime wanted him. DAZN wanted him. Triple G. Boom. Same thing. What if Al Heyman, this is just a crazy theory, what if Al Heyman showed a lot of interest in Triple G, despite him being 37, offered him something, but kind of overplayed it to get Triple G interested, and used Triple G in negotiations, PBC and Triple G negotiations, to, I got to think of how to explain this. What if they basically, they overplayed it, or they gave this perception of overplaying it, like they really wanted Triple G, like they were going to really do whatever to get Triple G, hiked up the asking price, right? And then made DAZN match that or come greater with a slightly better deal. Because if you look at Mike Coppinger and all the reports, it all said the DAZN deal was more money, but the PBC deal had a chance with like pay-per-views and stuff like that to get possibly more money. But what if Al Heyman made DAZN cough up more money right away for Triple G, knowing they weren't going to pay Triple G, and basically allowing him to go over to that side, and DAZN having to spend all this money, and now they're stuck with Triple G, not stuck like he's horrible or nothing, but now they have a 37-year-old Triple G that he's promised this amount of money, that he's promised equity, that he's promised Triple G promotion on the card, and now you have this huge tab. Like, do you guys get what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm explaining it good, but like basically hiked up the asking price, because it's like an auction, the negotiation. Like if you just like, oh, I really want, like shield bidding almost. You get what I'm saying? So they're like, oh yeah, we'll give Triple G, and then he comes back, hey, DAZN, hey guys, they offer me $50 million, and they're like, we can't give you quite that, but blah blah blah. So now Al Heyman knows kind of where DAZN was, what they're willing to pay, and then you leave them stuck with the bill, knowing you weren't going to spend that much on him, and if you did, and the money that you were going to put up, you were also including the pay-per-view model, so you would have got some money. Thank you, Jay. Thank you. She said that's what they do on Storage Wars. They drive up the bid just to break their competitors. That's what I'm saying, because I used to do eBay like way back in the day, and some people would get in trouble because I knew other people that did it. They would get in trouble for bidding on their own items. They don't want to win their own items. They're just shield bidding to hike up the asking price, so someone else is like, oh shit, I gotta get it, and then they outbid. They're hoping to get outbid. You get what I'm saying? Because if they win the auction, then they gotta relist it. You feel what I'm saying? You gotta relist it because you won the bid under a fake, ghost account. That's an ultimate chess move, bro. Because you got to look at it. Like my man just said. He said Triple G's 37. Triple G's 37, coming off a loss. As far as Triple G promotions, I don't really know one fighter. DAZN, part of his deal was to get Triple G promotions fighters on the card. I don't know one Triple G promotions fighter except for Triple G. I don't know who he has signed. I don't know no big, huge prospect that's been built up that he has. So he got equity. He got Triple G promotions on DAZN, and they got him. He's coming off of a loss. So now you got to look at it. who's Triple G going to fight? They can either put him in dangerous fights. If he loses again, the more you lose in boxing, if you keep losing, especially in nasty fashion, your stock drops. Common sense. And you got to climb back up to build that up. Triple G's team is already telling you they're not going after all them belts again. They said it's impossible. Abel told you that. You feel me? So, you know, Triple G and DAZN, they got him. They won the bid. He's over there now. But at the same time, how much money are you going to make back from him? You're going to have to put him in big fights or good fights to make up what you had to spend to get him. That's a crazy game, y'all. Like, I can assure you, based on what I've heard, if he keeps fighting people like he fought on HBO, minus the pay-per-views he did with HBO, DAZN is losing money, you know, because from what I heard he's getting, there's no way Jamil or whatever the dude's name is, fights like Brandon Adams with no pay-per-view, keep in mind, are going to lasso in enough sustained audience to the point where he's getting it. So that's what I'm saying. DAZN, they really, that pay-per-view is dead. That would have never been my thing. It really wouldn't, because pay-per-view, you can justify it. You know, people can say whatever they want about Mikey Garcia and Errol Spence, but you've already paid. It's over. They got your money. So even if the fight didn't deliver, you already spent the money. So there's no taking it back. However, if Triple G fights in a fight and then his next two opponents ain't who we want, or the fight's boring, then people might cancel their monthly subscription. Like, man, what is this? Triple G versus Vonis? That shit was weak. You know, just a theory, people. But yeah, PBC might have, you know, did a little bit of instigating, you know, and showed like a commitment. Like, I'm not saying they didn't want Triple G, because they probably did want Triple G, but they weren't willing to commit as much. They were willing to give him a good deal, but they weren't willing to commit. And then once the asking price was so high, they knew they weren't going over that, because they probably couldn't foresee themselves getting money back. Plus, they have a built-in insurance because they still do pay-per-view. So Triple G versus Charlo, that would have been on pay-per-view. We already know. We already know the name of that game. DAZN's trying to do all this with billionaires' money and investors or whatever, and no pay-per-view. So DAZN, again, they stuck with a huge bill. It's just like when you go to Denny's or IHOP with 12 people and not everyone pays exactly for how much they have, how much they ordered, and then they leave. So you and a couple of people are stuck with the bill, and the bill says $112, and you look at the money you have from everyone who pitched in for their meals, and you only have $83. And that's the danger with this DAZN game plan, because they're paying high and paying for trying like desperate to land big names. You could be stuck with a very high bill. Like if Triple G, what if he loses again, bro? What if so you either have to put him in cherry pick fights where you're pretty sure he wins, but then that's not going to drive that much attention to your site and get customers for life or long term, you know? Or you put him in dangerous fights like Andrade, and there's a chance he could lose that. Am I crazy? Am I crazy? Do you guys understand and follow what I'm talking about? Smash the like button. That's why, see, this is the brains and the brain power of Al Heyman and Bob Arum. Bob Arum has been in the game for 50 plus years, longer than a lot of us have been on earth. The power is Bob Arum doesn't have an affinity or an attachment to just one fighter, right? Pacquiao was with Top Rank and made good money and made a lot of money for Top Rank. He's over with Heyman now. But guess what? That don't stop the Top Rank show. They're still doing big deals. They're still getting extensions and extending their deals with ESPN. They just got Tyson Fury. They just signed a Puerto Rican cat that's 16 years old. All right, Sebastian, we in the hot seat. See, they always want to fuck me up when I'm coming, like when I'm coming with the heat. All right, never mind. Never mind. Block him. Sebastian, he says he lost the first. Get him out of here. I thought he had some. I thought he was trying to. Once I seen the shooters, just get rid of him, please. Sebastian Potato Head or whatever his name is. Papoose, get him out of here. Yeah, you Papoose, get out of here. I'm not stopping my diatribe for that. I thought you were really talking about something. I don't care about Mayweather, Manny. Well, that don't have nothing to do with what I'm talking about. Bottom line is this. Top Rank, it's not like they're just, basically they got teams. Top Rank has teams. If Lomachenko loses, they still got Teofimo. You know, they might put Teofimo in there who could beat Lomachenko. If Teofimo were to lose that fight, they could say, oh, he was a kid, you know, just like Canelo, and use that excuse. Oh, he's a kid, and then just keep building him up. They got Shakur Stevenson. They got Crawford. They got a team. You know, they got people they can build on. Same thing with PBC. Mikey just lost, okay, but he still has fans. You know, he tried for greatness. He came up short. They got Errol Spence. Sean Porter retained his title. You know, they just got Pacquiao. They got Rigondeaux now. They got Luis Ortiz. They got Wilder. They just got Andy Ruiz. They got Adam Kanowski. You see? So it's not like, even if Wilder lost per se, they could put some energy and money behind Adam Kanowski because he's winning. They could put some money and, you know, ramp up the competition for Efe Ajagba. They got Andy Ruiz, who lost, but he lost controversially, you know, split decision to Joseph Parker. That's what happens when you have a full team. DAZN doesn't have that. If their star players lose, that hurts their stock, you know. If Canelo loses, that hurts his stock. Even if it's perceived that Canelo loses, that's a huge, huge burden. Like, you know, like a Lotta fight versus Canelo or Triple G1 versus Canelo. It's a huge burden because that hurts your stock. If Triple G, you put him in Andre, he loses coming off of a lot, that hurts your stock. And DAZN has a lot of money tied up, not in the team, but in the marquee names that they have. What if Miller beats AJ? That hurts his stock. He'll lose all his belts. That's what happens when you have a roster versus okay, Broner just lost to Pacquiao, but now Pacquiao's winning. So now what can you do with Pacquiao? Oh, you can put him in with Keith Thurman, put him in with Maidana if he gets back, put him in Sean Porter, put him with Errol Spence, etc. Danny Garcia. Broner is still a mouthpiece. You can put Broner in with Berto. You put him in with Luis Collazo. Sergey Lipinets just won. This is what happens when you have a team, like a deep stable to pull from. Even if a guy loses or something, Errol Spence, sky's the limit. You can put him in with Sean Porter. That's a unification. Who wouldn't watch that? DAZN, they have marquee names now that have a lot of money behind them and tied up. They're not really in a position, like if they lose, it's going to be bad. You know, it's going to be bad and it'll be a major hit for DAZN. You know, if Top Rank, they're co-promoting Tyson Fury. If Tyson Fury, let's say he's not the same and he lost to Tom Schwartz, you know, Top Rank, they still got other fighters that they can, you'd be like, oh, okay, fuck, Tyson Fury lost, but check out Teofimo. Terrence Crawford's still a bad motherfucker. He just knocked out Khan, etc. You get what I'm saying? So that's the difference. Manny Pacquiao was in Dallas hoping and praying Mikey Garcia won the fight. Hell yeah. He didn't even look like he wanted to be in the ring. Yeah. Jerry Jones, get me out of this motherfucker. Like, he didn't want to be in that ring, bro. Especially with Errol calling him down. Got sweat trickling down his cheek and shit from just fighting, bro. He didn't want to be in there. Anyway, that's the thing with DAZN. These are the problems and the uphill battles that they have to come up with the answers to. Real talk. This is what they're going to have to. And then, again, you got ESPN Plus, $4.99. So for 5 times less the price, you get this quality. You know, all these fights, UFC, they have documentaries, 30 for 30, a backlog of fights. You know, they got different stuff. They have Max Kellerman got his own show on there. They got Ariel Helwani and the bad guy Chael Sonnen. You know, they got shows like that programming. Name a DAZN programming that people, you know, always watch. You know, like a 24/7. You know, it's just they have to work on all that. It's just they got a lot. You know, so I understand what Bob Arum was talking about, to be honest. And they're trying to do this all without pay-per-view. It's like you ever see somebody lifting something and they're stubborn, and you're like, hey, you know, you see a little lady and she's like carrying something, struggling. You're like, hey, let me help you. Let me help. I got it. Like, no, let me just help you. I got it. And they just want to do it themselves. They want to do it their way. All right, fine. You know, that's kind of what DAZN is. You know, there's pay-per-view out there. Everyone else is taking advantage of it. And DAZN's like, I got it. You know, and footing the bill, paying all these crazy salaries. You're like, hey, DAZN, what about pay-per-view? I got it, guys. You know, trying to walk up a flight of stairs, someone offers you to help. You know, but now it's at the point of no return. You've already spent so much promotion, bad-mouthing pay-per-view. How you going to switch to a pay-per-view model? You know? Next thing you know, they're gonna force you into a 2-year contract, you know, like it's a phone or something. Yeah, so you can get the DAZN $2.99 package that covers you for the next 2 years. Ain't nobody doing that, bro. Paying for DAZN prepaid, they're like, bro, DAZN gift cards and shit, bro. So they got some answers. Like I said, you put Triple G in a tough fight, then he could lose. Now he got 6 fights with you. 6. You put him in a tough fight, he could lose. That's why it's a huge gamble, because you owe him all this money in Triple G promotion fight, and he's 37 and he's coming off of a loss, and you did all this to get him. All right. Or you could put him in fights like Vanes Martirosyan, like HBO did, and you see where HBO boxing's at. You know, those fights aren't going to bring, like last year. They should have looked at HBO's numbers before the last year or so. They should have looked at HBO's numbers, because I remember Wilder versus Ortiz, and see, that's the other thing, you got competition. Wilder fought Luis Ortiz the same night as Sergey Kovalev versus Ichabod Crane, or, you know, Igor Macaulay Culkin or some shit, Igor McKelkin, right? For the first time in a long time, Showtime beat by a huge margin, even though HBO has more subscribers, beat HBO, because nobody wanted to see Kovalev versus Igor McKelkin. And that's the thing DAZN is faced with. The bottom line is there's a lot of money in boxing. People go after what they want to watch, what they want to see. If, let's say, and the thing is, Al Heyman, especially because he has the deepest stable, he could really fuck DAZN. He could really fuck with him, right? Triple G wants to fight Brandon Adams. Oh, we want to fight Brandon Adams for Jamal Charlo. And then if Brandon Adams goes to the Charlo fight and likes that deal better, then who is Triple G going to fight? Or let's say Triple G fights. This is why Eddie Hearn shouldn't have did this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Make fun of American promoters, because now they trying to box you out. That's what it looks like to me. You said all this, oh, Al Heyman and PBC fucked up. Now they doing chess, and they top rank, and what's the name? And Eddie Hearn don't got a big American stable. Golden Boy don't got a big American stable, right? DAZN 100 fights, 100 nights. Yeah, but one of them is Ryan Garcia versus Jose Lopez. Who is that? So, you know, it's not about 100 nights, 100 fights, when Andre's fighting Wolverine, who lost to Billy Joe Saunders 2 years ago. You know, so now, like I said, they shouldn't have had Eddie Hearn. They should have, you know, tightened the leash and be like, yo, you're tripping. You know, you can't be rubbing these people the wrong way. Because now they could really, Top Rank and Al Heyman, they could really stage events the same day as your events and then just try to put on a massive fight. Like, bro, I'm going to tell you straight up. If Triple G fought Shamil, or whatever dude's name is, and PBC put on Swift Jared Hurd, let's say he gets past J-Rock. Jared Hurd and Jermell Charlo. Let's say Jermell Charlo beats Tony Harrison. What the fuck would y'all watch? If Charlo gets past Harrison in a rematch, gets his belt back, and Hurd gets past J-Rock, his mandatory, and they make Hurd versus Charlo and Triple G versus Shamil, you know, Camille, or something like that. I mean, what are you going to watch? Come on. So that's what I'm saying. I told you this last year. It's all going to be contingent on what matchups get made. People don't have these like gangbanging affiliations with networks. They may say they do, but we know it's not. They're like, oh, PBC sucks. I'm not supporting Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence, you know. But you think Mikey Garcia, Errol Spence have more fight fans there, or the Tevin Farmer fight in Philly with Jonu? So people could say, that's the thing. You know, I don't know, like DAZN, I don't know if they looked at YouTube comments or whatever, because that's the thing. People will say stuff on YouTube, but that's not how they're spending. It's just like people will pick, you know, oh, Canelo's going to destroy Mayweather. But then when it comes to the sports bet, they're not betting like that because Mayweather's still the favorite. See, D-Plug, you part of the problem. A, Ego, do you know how much Wilder is getting for the Brazil fight? I can't find that info anywhere, unfortunately. Why do you care? If it ain't, if you can't find it, there's probably a reason for it, because it's none of your fucking beeswax. Why do you care how much Wilder is getting? That's his mandatory. He has to take care of it. I mean, what do you need to know? Like, you doing a background check? Like, this is what I'm saying. Boxing fan, we talking about topics, and I'm responding to what Arum said, and we just talk about the landscape of things. You talking about how much Wilder getting? Like, why do you care? That's the fight you're getting. It's not on pay-per-view. Why you care how much Wilder's getting? Like, you going, what? For what? What do you need? What do you need that for? Like, he buying a car with you, and you got to see how much do you make a month? Bro, you looking like a rat, bro. You looking like a mole. I've been seeing your comments. Let me, you in the hot seat. I ain't got time for it. Why do you need to know how much Wilder's getting paid? That's the fight. That's his mandatory. That's what's happening next. Still better than Tyson Fury's next opponent, right? And it's not on pay-per-view anymore. Why do you need to know Wilder's purse right now? You know, they might say his purse, or, you know, identify it fight week or something. You know, ESPN might drop a tweet or something. But why do you need to know right now? Since you've been looking everywhere for it. Why you been looking everywhere for that? What you need to know that for? It's not a pay-per-view. Let me know. You have 10 seconds to respond. Let me know why you need. Wow, just asking. Bro, you say you've been looking everywhere for Wilder's purse. Why do you need to know that? Why? What does that have to do with it? Block this, man. You see? When it gets too hot in the kitchen, this is what they do. Bro, you're a mole. You're an implant. We know what you're doing. You're trying to distract from the actual conversation. And then they always try to, oh, what? This is a boxing channel, right? I was just asking. We know what you're trying to do. I've been doing this too long. I know what you were trying to do. Trying to make some funny stuff. Oh, how much is Wilder getting? How much is... Come on, bro. He said, D-plug, we unplugged him. Oh, my gosh. Bars. Who cares how much Wilder's getting? His girlfriend, wife, or whatever, she's happy. He's happy. His kids is happy. He just made a pay-per-view with Tyson Fury. Yeah, motherfuckers act like you accountants and like you gonna pay his bills or something. Get him out of here. This is what happens. They always try to see. I be coming with the heat and coming with real points, so they try to like counter it by bringing up and distracting from the actual conversation. The bottom line is, people, I agree with Bob Arum. DAZN, they have some things that are unanswered, and we'll see. You know, we'll see how it all plays out. But as a consumer, I can't get, me personally, I can't give $100 and I don't know your calendar, and you don't have a history of making the best fights where I'm available and not covering a bigger fight to sit down and watch them. You know, if they have more Canelo Jacobs fights, I have no problem. But I got to see that. You know, I have no problem supporting. I have to see that, though. No, I don't care. You know, no, we blocked him. D Plug got blocked. No, it's okay. We wanted that. You know, and then like I said, that's what happens when when people operate from a position of more desperation. That's what happens. They are desperate to get the big names, so they threw the book at it. They threw everything. You know, fuck. All right, Golovkin, come here. Don't go to PBC. We need you for the Canelo rematch. We need to be able to say all the middleweights are here. So they did everything they could to get him. They got him. Now who you gonna put him in there with? Who you gonna put him in there with? Andre would be the best fight for him, and that would be a fight I would happily pay for it. What I gotta pay? 20 a month? I got you. I got you. See, now we're talking. Let's say Canelo Jacobs in June or in May. AJ versus Milla in June. In July or something, Triple G versus Andre. That's 3 months of heat. But unfortunately, I don't think many people believe that's going to happen. And that's what happens because there's a lot of money tied up. Canelo's already in a dangerous fight. So are you going to put Triple G in a dangerous fight? So, you know, DAZN got to get that traction going. They got to get that traction. That would be a perfect 3 month, you know, they would kill the summer doing that. Canelo, Jacobs, AJ Miller, and then Andre Triple G. That would definitely kill the summer. They would have 60 of my dollars. I would pay $20 a month for all that, back to back to back, for sure, because that's some heat. Now we're talking. Now we can justify that, because that's, you know, those are big fights for the fans. But, you know, like I said, you can't be high risk just with your spending habits. You're probably, as a new with a limited stable, you probably have to be high risk with some of the matchups. They're doing it with Canelo. You know, Josh was taking a risk by fighting in America, where, you know, he's been fighting, and he's fighting a guy who's 317 pounds. So cool. You got Triple G. You got all the middleweights. Make that. It's like a baby tournament, and I think people would buy into that. You know, but if Triple G's target is Brandon Adams, and then Brandon Adams also got an offer from PBC, DAZN, they gotta land, I guess, Brandon Adams, because if it's not Brandon Adams, who are they really? I don't see him putting him in there with Andre next. So who are they gonna put him in there with if Brandon Adams goes and fights Charlo? And that's what I'm saying. It's hardball right now. But the one thing I will say is this competition is good, you know, because it's gonna make these promoters think and try to come up with something to battle the other person. That's my time, people. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. We working. Thank you guys for tuning in.